You emailed me and asked me what it's like to be a town manager. I said, Barry, made me think of another line of work.
No?
Okay.
Time is 7:01 p.m. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Mayor and Town Council for Tuesday, February 24th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should I have a roll call, Susan?
Here. 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 Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here. Got a quorum. Approval of the agenda. If anybody has any changes they need to make to the agenda, please speak now. If not, I entertain a motion to approve. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Floyd, second by Councilor Gonzalez. Any discussion on approving the agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries unanimous. The agenda is approved. First up, we have a couple of presentations. First, we're going to be hearing from America 250 Planning Committee. We are joined by Mary Wood, Jamie Trevethan, and Lisa Maston. Come on up and tell us what's going on with America 250.
Good evening.
Good.
Good evening. My name is Mary Wood. I'm here with the Newington Celebrates America 250 Planning Committee to give you an update on our plans to celebrate the semi-quincentennial on July 4th, 2026, and throughout the year, the United States will be commemorating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the country. The America 250 Connecticut Commission was established by Governor Ned Lamont on July 1st, 2022, to plan and coordinate the state's events, educational opportunities, and commemorations leading up to the 250th anniversary of the United States. The Connecticut Commission recommended that each municipality appoint a liaison to coordinate the town's events with the commission. Last year, Mayor Trister appointed me as a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution to that position. I'm working with town staff, Parks and Rec Superintendent Bill DeMail, Library Director Lisa Maston, Senior Center Director Jamie Trevethan, as well as Parks and Rec Board members Phil Knowlton and Councilors Gail Bradraco and Matthew Plourde. We've been meeting for about a year to plan Newington celebrations, occasionally at first, but now we are meeting often as the semi-quincentennial is upon us. The Newington Planning Committee aims to celebrate America's 250th anniversary by honoring the historical events and way of life of 1776, reflecting on what our ancestors fought for and the founding of our nation and Constitution, with a focus on the area that would later become Newington, Connecticut. Community pride and involvement. The committee is planning events that celebrate multi-generational community pride, including involvement from the town departments and elected officials, Daughters of the American Revolution, community speakers, Newington students and youth groups, and the Newington Historical Society. We decided early on that the Newington event should be inclusive of all ages and generations, with opportunities for kids and adults alike to celebrate together. We're planning events that recognize the historical significance of the anniversary, while including plenty of pride in our Newington community and looking at what life would have been like in our area of the state 105 years before Newington was established. To do that, we're consulting knowledgeable folks such as the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Newington Historical Society. So what do we have planned? May 2nd, the Cruisers, the Navy band from Washington, D.C., performance at Mill Pond at 6:00 p.m., sponsored by the Parks and Recs Department, with a special giveaway courtesy of the Lucy Robbins Wells Library. May 30th, 2 showings of the movie 1776 with free refreshments courtesy of the Senior and Disabled Center. June 4th, 2026, a patriotic concert featuring the 102nd National Guard Army Band at Mill Pond Park at 6:30 p.m. The week of June 23rd, the Parks and Rec Summer Camp Recreation Stars and Stripes theme, which will be honoring the America 250th. July 4th, 2026, a statewide recommitment ceremony in Hartford. And at this particular event, we would like a Newington town councilor or official or someone that Mayor Trister would appoint to attend this event. July 15th through the 18th, the 250th anniversary of America Life Be In It extravaganza, culminating in patriotic fireworks. The events that we have planned so far will involve folks of all ages. We kicked off the celebration back at the Parks and Recs Night of Lights in December. We have a series of programs starting in May, as you saw. This year, the Parks and Rec extravaganza will be named the 250th anniversary of America, Life Be In It extravaganza, and will highlight the anniversary with various patriotic themes and activities. It will culminate with Newington's annual fireworks on July 18th. But wait, there's more. We are still working behind the scenes to plan more events. Many of these will focus on the way life was back in 1776. The town events that we are planning and that are in progress are participation in the Newington Memorial Day Parade, reading of the Declaration of Independence, youth performance of patriotic and historical songs, various library and senior center programs, tours, readings by the Historical Society, and when possible, events will benefit the Human Services Food Bank. As you can see, we hope to give back by holding food drives at events when possible. I should note that this planning committee does not have a budget. Town departments and staff had offered their time and resources to make this all possible, with some help from in-kind donors. In the coming weeks, you'll see more details about Newington Celebrates America 250. The Parks and Rec Department, Library, and Senior Center will spread the word throughout their publications and communications to the public. We'll put out some press releases and post on the town's website and social media. Please keep an eye out for more information. Logo contest. We're getting the community involved with a logo contest for Newington's celebration of America 250. Submissions are welcome through March 15th, and the winning logo will be featured on all of the upcoming information and advertising for the events. We have a few great entries already. Please send yours to Jamie Trevathan at jtrevathan@newingtonct.gov. The winners will receive a 100 gift certificate to use toward Parks and Recs programs. If you didn't see it yet, this flyer will be up on the town website and social media and has been distributed to schools. So hopefully we get lots of creative ideas from Newington students. We'd love to hear if you have any questions for our celebrations or if you'd like to help. Please feel free to reach out to a committee member via email. This concludes our presentation. We're happy to take questions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll open it up for questions from council. Council Floyd. Oh, sorry, Council Capella, sorry.
Thank you so much for your presentation. It's very exciting to have this time come, it's Proud American, and 250 years is a historical event. And I'm so glad that you guys are taking charge and showing everyone what, you can do. I had a question. What about a flag? Can we help by maybe having a flag flown, 250, something special that I'm sure there's lots of them out there. We even looked on Amazon to see, and there's some really nice ones. I think that would be a great way to show our patriotic.
That would be very helpful. Yes. I know that there are different sorts of flags. There is one with the America 250 logo. I have a smaller one at home actually that I got from the Daughters of the American Revolution. I know that they do have the original flag with the 13 stars and
Right.
the 13
Yeah.
stripes.
Mhm.
I mean, so there are various ideas.
I like that idea. For sure. For sure. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
Counselor Tiniakis.
No questions. Everything looked awesome. I just want to thank you guys for dedicating so much time to make this all happen. And I'm excited to go to all these events.
Thank you.
Counselor Floyd.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mary and Lisa and Jamie, and I know Bill, who's been a part of the committee too. Really grateful for the work that you guys have done. And clearly, we've got a lot planned and a lot to look forward to, a lot to be excited about. I was mentioning earlier when we were chatting today that over the weekend, I took some time to look at some other communities and just get a sense of some of the ideas they've had, some of the work that they've been doing before your presentation tonight. And not to offend any of those communities, we are leaps and bounds ahead, as we should be here in Newington. And I think it's a testament not just to the great work that you've done, Mary, the leadership that you provided this committee, your commitment to the history and how important it is for people to recognize it and learn it, your commitment to civic education, but the collaboration between these departments. Like you said, this committee itself doesn't have resources available to it necessarily, but you have a community of resources around you, and everybody has been so willing to jump in and be helpful and be supportive and create different programs. So it's really extraordinary. I'm really excited to attend a lot of these events. I know we're also excited at some point soon, probably our next meeting, to move forward with that proclamation at council, recognizing the important work that your commission is doing and recognizing the 250th anniversary. One question, how can people get involved in the commission or in supporting your work if they have ideas, et cetera? Where should they go or who should they contact?
They can either contact me via email or they can contact Lisa or Jamie.
We put our email up on the slide for people,
Beautiful.
so they can just reach out to us and we can forward it to Mary.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Rodrigo.
Yes, I'm just curious. I love Nancy's, Councilor Capello's idea. And I know the flags are not that expensive, even the full size ones. How would we move forward? Because there's not a lot of time left. I mean, really. how would we move
I can
forward?
research it and if it's reasonably expensive, I can just charge it to the town manager's budget. It's not a big deal.
And even if it is expensive, I mean, I think some of us would be willing to chip in to contribute to that, because I know there isn't a budget for this.
Yeah, but we have some available funds for something like this. I couldn't imagine $100 or something.
Okay, great.
But there is an actual America 250 logoed
Yes.
flag
It's a
out there.
white flag.
Okay, Okay. cool.
With the ribbon.
Okay.
And also, I just want to echo what you said and what Councilor Plord said. You've done amazing work without a budget, and I actually didn't realize that, last year we did not put anything in for the budget. I don't think we even knew that we had to at this point.
Hadn't anybody appointed yet.
Right, so the fact that, like the library and the senior center has kind of, and Parks and Rec has, pulled forces, and I assume as events move forward, Jonathan will be able, because I'm sure every department as needed will want to contribute at some point to either the mechanics or the operations or whatever of this to make it a success, because there is no money for this important event. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. The only money that is available is through grants, through the Connecticut Humanities.
It's kind of late for that, I would imagine.
Mm.
Okay.
Deputy Mayor Adam.
Yes, no questions, but just a big thank you. And I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was in a parking lot behind Goldberger's where you and I were talking, and you very enthusiastically, you were telling me about some ideas that you had, and you were so excited moving forward with this. So to see in such detail, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. So I want to thank all of you for this, and just let us know what we can do. And I'm looking forward to participating in where I can.
I will be in contact with Mayor Trister regarding the event happening on July 4th up in Hartford for the recommitment ceremony. At our last meeting of the commission for the state of Connecticut, they did not have all the details, and they told us that at the March meeting, we would have more details about that event as they flesh it out, and I will pass those off over to you, John.
Perfect.
Well, the programming that you have so far is just it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you all.
You're welcome.
Is it possible to appoint myself to that role? Because I would love to be.
Of course you can.
Do that.
They want a town official, and it's under the discretion of whomever, if it's a first selection, a first selectman or woman or a mayor, to appoint whomever they want to go up to Hartford for the rededication ceremony.
You have to wear the big Uncle Sam.
Yeah, and you have to ride a horse.
All right.
You have to drive.
We know
the
some
horse,
people.
You guys are just making this more exciting for
Yeah,
me.
We'll get you ready. We'll get you ready.
But seriously though, thank you so much. When this came up and, we needed to find someone to be appointed to this, it took me approximately 3 seconds of thought before I said, Mary Wood, let's ask her. She's great. There's not a better person for this role than you.
That's right.
And you got an incredible team with you. And I mean, I'm just so excited to see what you guys see how far you guys have come. And, we're almost there. And it's just so exciting. So thank you so much for your time.
Bill Mayo's done a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill has been wonderful, but I mean, Lisa and Jamie have been absolutely fabulous.
You guys are the A team.
That's
Yes,
right.
and it's also absolutely wonderful too to have Counselor Plord and Counselor Bedraco also very, very interested and involved. We really, really appreciate your commitment to the committee as well and your help.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. We look forward to hearing more updates as you move along, and we'll be in touch soon to figure out my appointment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Talk to you later.
Much.
Alrighty. Next up, we have a presentation from NCTV and John Donahue. You guys want to come on up? It's about the goings on in NCTV.
Well, thank you all for inviting us. I know Jonathan and I have been trying to coordinate for a few months, and it's just took a while to get it all together. Just one thing before the 250 committee walks out. make sure you coordinate with NCTV. Love to broadcast everything we're doing.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
all right. So I had a great speech, but then we have a video presentation, so I would just repeat everything in the video presentation. So let's show the video presentation and we'll take questions afterwards.
And then you'll do the speech.
It's in there. I want to ride the horse too.
Or something else.
Right, thank you, Scott, for putting that together. Although I work in mainframe computers, these finger toys I don't get, so thank you. As you can see, NCTV will be 40 years old this year. Started by Ev Weaver and Ed Pizzella in their basement when we had one channel between 4 towns. So there's I think the committee is still on the books, which I know you guys are going to review the committee, but it was a meeting where we had to get together as all the towns and say, okay, I want Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Oh no, we want, so Cox finally gave us our own 2 channels. The rebrand, it's just time. As you know, cable TV is dwindling. I don't know how many people still have Cox cable at their house or Frontier. So, you know, online, the Roku and the Fire TV. And the other, what's the other one that's coming?
We're coming with iOS and Android soon.
So, you know, we're shifting, you know, we know where the viewers are. You know, and with the Cox charter thing, we don't know what's gonna happen. What else? The as the video said, we're all volunteer powered. I was at a convention last year where we were asked to speak as a volunteer organization. And it was in New York, and there was a community access station from Hawaii. They sent 6 people. I'm like going, wow. And you're complaining that your budget's only $1.5 million. So we operate with, some town funds and some funds that we get from Cox. So we're pretty lean, but we do a good job. Website?
Website?
The new website is up. The old website was like done in the 80s. And this new website, I mean, it's fast, it's laid out fantastic. We're constantly adding stuff to it. So nctv.org, go look at it. I mean, it was a nice picture. As the video said, we're gonna try to open our studio for people to come in and do their own podcasts. We have the equipment, most people don't. Coordinate with us, we can figure something out. See, I should have brought my papers up, but I didn't have my papers. Let's take some questions.
Yeah, questions.
Thank you guys for the presentation. Really appreciate it. We'll open it up for questions.
Don't everybody ask at once.
Council Gonzalez.
Thank you for the presentation. I had a couple of questions. How many people do you have currently running everything?
Currently, we have a list of 20. There's about 7 of us that actually
7 active?
that keep everything going. We try to do things remotely. We would like to get back into the studio full time and do this show from the studio, but the AV system doesn't always agree with our system. So, that's something we haven't been able to work out yet. We're still trying it out. So, it's a lean organization, but we get things done. For instance, when we moved from the old town hall to the new town hall, we were only off the air for 2 hours, which was amazing. During the pandemic, we were one of the few public access stations that figured out how to continue to broadcast meetings because I have a good tech crew and it almost seemed like a no-brainer, but a lot of other access stations just didn't do anything for the whole time of the pandemic, which was sad. So
Are you looking for more people?
we're always looking for more people.
What do you do for outreach to the community for
Well,
more people?
it's a double-edged sword, I'd love to do outreach, but, I don't have the people to do the outreach. I mean, we've reached out to the high school.
You have, how does that go?
It's difficult because every school now has their own TV studio. Right? So it's not something that we can muscle in on. I don't know if there's an overall school TV person we could talk to. The other thing is, all of the town sports are governed now by the conference, CICA. We can't air them.
They're copyrighted, so.
And then, Bill has the
Barn
stable, barn
door
door,
or something like that. Yeah.
so we can't even record anything in the,
Anything in the gymnasium, we can't touch.
right, so we're fighting it, but anybody, even the high school concerts, that's how I got involved with NCTV, was high school concerts. You can't even do that anymore because of all the copyright and everything else, so our content pool gets smaller, but if you record, see, I don't even know how it worked. If you recorded your son's daughter's soccer game, I don't know if you gave that to us because we might be in violation. We'll give it a shot. What's the worst thing they can say? Don't do it again. Okay, but
Another thing, people can come into the studio and do their own shows.
Mm.
You're not limited to what you can do. It's your imagination can run wild at NCTV. We have all the equipment. We have a state-of-the-art high definition studio. We can build sets. We can have sets in there. You can really do what you want. You want your own comedy show? You want your own political show? What you want to do is up to you. We're non-political in the studio.
if you want to do a Democrat show, a Democrat show is fine. If you want to bring in a show, let's say there's a national show that's available to access stations. As long as somebody from the town of Newington comes in and says, I will take responsibility for that show, NCTV will air that show. We're looking at doing things like public domain movies, airing them like on a Saturday night, which would be kind of fun, getting some real old movies. And I thought of a fun thing to do would have someone host a movie, you know, the old Elvira or Svengoolie or something like that. Mayor Trister may want to put the fangs on and do it, you know, you never know.
Sounds like fun.
To make it fun, to let people watch NCTV, because we can do so much there. We have everything available to us. We're going to be pushing the website and nctv.org very big, and want people to recognize that you can watch Newington from anywhere in the world. And we want the talent here in Newington, and we do have talent here in Newington. Come into our studios, produce some shows, and let them shine, and let people see what Newington can do. That's one of my main goals in doing this whole rebrand thing. Since unfortunately, when Patty died, the station kind of went dead, and we have a thing
Only
called.
because she had all the passwords.
Well, yeah, shit. But we're starting to clean up things. You know, the things for the parades in 2021 that were being advertised still on our scroller have been removed. We're gonna freshen that up. We're gonna give it a new look. We give you a look at some of the things that are gonna be transitions from show to show. We got a lot of stuff that we didn't show you in this because we didn't want to bore you to death, but we want to give it a new look, a new exciting look, and show what NCTV can do and really put Newington on the map. I really want people from Newington to come in here, do some stuff and get out there and tell their friends, hey, you can watch me on nctv.org. People don't have cable TV anymore, but people can still watch us anywhere. And as I say, we got a state-of-the-art high definition studio here for the use of anybody who wants to use it. And I want to see people starting to use it.
Thank you. Councilor Drago.
Yeah, going back to the volunteer issue, just to reiterate, you don't have to be a technical wizard or be in the TV business to be a volunteer. You are willing to train people. If there's an interest, you will train them.
You need a pulse.
Yep.
And they should contact, is there a
At
website?
NCTV at nctv.org.
If you go on the website, just click the email thing. I get a notification when I get an email into the system, so.
Yeah, we're happy to train people. I came from public access. Well, giving away my age here, I was there when ESPN started in Plainville, Connecticut. And we had two guys doing a sports show, doing sports highlights, and they were doing a great job. I was only 13 or 14 at the time, but I was volunteering there to air playback of all the shows. And at that time, you put a videotape in, and when it's time to go, you hit the play button and you hit a button to put that VCR online. So I was doing that. And my mother let me volunteer, thankfully. And these two guys were doing a sports show. They were doing really, really good, but all the other places were, all the other shows were getting really upset because they couldn't get editing time, all the churches and things like that. So these guys, the general manager of the cable company only had 10 channels at the time. General manager came in and said, I got to do something about these guys because everybody else is getting so mad. So he came in one Monday morning and said, I got an idea. He went to the two guys and said, hey, I will give you guys your own channel if you can get your own equipment and continue doing your sports show. I want you to continue doing your sports show, but we can't, understandably, we can't do it because everybody else wants to use the studio too. So the guys went and thought about it. A couple weeks later, one of the guys' uncles was vice president of Getty Oil, and that was the birth of ESPN. And it was kind of neat to be there for the start of that. But when I was in public access back then, the way it worked, and it's different from NCTV because we have no paid employees. Back then at United Cable at the time, we always had one employee on staff at all time. And when somebody wanted to do a show, one staff member would be in the studio with them and would help them out with their production if they wanted help. But the way it usually worked is you got one person to do the show and they brought their friends in and they ordered pizza and they made their show and they had a great time. And, you always had a person in the studio that could help if you needed to. I'd love to see that come back to here to NCTV. As I say, I want to see NCTV utilized. We've got all this great equipment, studio, it's just a beautiful thing. We want to see people use that.
And I know, historically and in the past, people always thought of NCTV as, doing the town meetings and the council meetings and town events, but as you indicated, there's a lot of more restrictions now and what you cannot, and I'm so glad that you are evolving with the times to making NCTV relevant for every Newington resident, and it doesn't have to center around a government meeting or government information. Like I know over Christmas, Scott, you did the old movies, like a Christmas movie-thon for 24, which is something, quite unique and quite good, and hopefully you'll continue that. And also I know, gosh, I forget what her name is. But she came in and they did they made a video of public awareness about drunk driving.
Yep, Sandy.
Sandy, sorry, Sandy. But that's the type of thing. She had a passion, a cause. She came in, utilized your equipment and whatever, made a video, and it actually won some awards.
Won a national award,
So
yes.
there's just so much opportunity there if people just have an idea and a vision, and you will guide them through that. So thank you.
Right, there are two channels at NCTV. There's a government channel, which is any government show or things that we deem as a government show. Then we have public, where things like Talk to the Mayor on, and we get stuff from other channels that people send us. And, as long as you sign the form, my, whatever Bob's show is, right? So you got to sign the form. So when somebody calls me up to complain, say, hey, I'm not the producer, here's the producer's number. Go talk to them. But I can't stop you from, unless it's, it goes into my private collection. So it's like, it's the town station. And we want to get more people from the town involved. The issue is that technology is running so far ahead of us. You can't, if you were, in the past, if I wanted my relatives to see my son in concert, they would have to go on the website and see it. Now you just post it online and, it's almost like this meeting, right? More, I don't know, we can't track how many people are watching online. I can tell you how many people watch it on NCTV, Rose.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose. And a few other people, and then, unfortunately, some people have Frontier and they're not keeping up with the TV anymore, so.
Deputy Mayor Rada.
Right, well, thanks for coming and showing us the video. I've got a couple of questions. You talked and to your credit and Newington's credit, it's the only volunteer.
100% volunteer. There are
100% volunteer effort.
No paid employees.
It's interesting to hear you say that, and I'm curious as to how do some of these other towns could you give examples of other towns and where are they getting their funding from?
I can go in that if you want me to.
Well, Newington's kind of special because there's 7 towns that are bundled under Cox.
Okay.
Some other stations are what they call cap stations, and they make their own agreement with the cable companies.
Mhm.
Now, if you've listened to any of the Pura stuff lately, the Pura is fighting this tooth and nail, especially now that the cable companies are starting to combine,
Mhm.
right? So they would like more of a Cox situation for everybody. So Cox gets the pile of money. If you look on your cable bill, there's a public access charge. They get the money for 7 stations, and then they give us a small piece of that, which we argue with Cox all the time, but that's how we're funded. And then we're, fortunate enough to have a line item in the budget here.
Mhm.
In other towns, for example, there's Nutmeg Television, which covers 7 towns. Their money they get from the cable company is a whole lot larger than what we get. So they can afford to have staff, 4 or 5 employees, part-time, full-time. We've never tried staffing here and we never had the money to do it. The money we get is basically enough to pay for our equipment. Our computer systems constantly need updating, new software, playback system. we just put in a new playback system about 6 or 7 years ago, and it's already out of date, not supported anymore. So we're gonna be spending a big chunk of change coming up to replace our playback system. The playback system automatically, schedules and plays back everything automatically for, so nobody has to sit in there and say, okay, it's 7 o'clock, it's time for Bob's show. Bob's show just automatically runs at 7 o'clock.
And people get the videotape and put it in.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do.
That's what it used to be.
That's what it used to be, but it's all automated by the computer now, but it's very expensive. I wish I had the time to really program one of these things myself, because I know the parts and pieces behind it and how they make it work, but I just don't have time to piece it all together, because I could do it a lot cheaper than these guys and probably have a lot better operating system as well.
Couple of other questions. How many hours of broadcast do you do now? And I know it could go 24/7 if you had staffing and all the resources in the world, but what do you see as you're looking into the future? What possibilities?
But we do broadcast 24/7,
We are 24.
right? It's like we run the government shows, back to back.
Okay.
Right, like, Mondays, town council, board of ed, any special meetings, and then the schedule repeats itself. And then if we go live, like this meeting, it'll just circumvent the schedule. But it's, we're on 7x24. And in between a show, the scroller will come up, the community calendar, for lack of a better term, which is being updated. So, a lot of that, the public access channel, we have, like I said, stuff from other.
We got things like Democracy Now, and we have a couple shows.
Couple of religious shows.
Religious shows, and we got like a Star Search type of show where people get up and sing and fun things from other stations, but we like Newington things, and that's what we hope we can get, is more Newington things.
And one last question, and you've touched on this, but not being an AV person myself. Talk a little bit about the space and the resources you have. I remember walking through it, but that was a long time ago.
Any of you guys want a tour?
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll give you a tour and show you the space. We've got a great studio with 3 walls we can use for different sets. We're going to look at, as we're going into podcasting, so we're going to have one of the walls, a podcast set. Now, when people come in and do podcasts, they can do audio podcasts, but we're hoping to do a video podcast as well, so we can broadcast them on NCTV.
Right, it's basically is a 24x24 studio. And when we used to do the election night coverage, we would have our desk with the 2 people in it, right? And then we would have 2 chairs set up with a different curtain, different set of furniture, and say, oh, let's go now live to the candidates. And you flip over, you're in the same room, but you don't know that because there's different furniture. We have a broadcast room where the equipment is to, the big monitor and everything. We have a equipment room where all of the broadcast equipment is, a very small sound booth. As a matter of fact, we share our equipment room with Vision Point. I always call it Vision Quest. I don't know why. And then we have an office and we have a storage room. So it's not a lot of space. And we did pair when we were at North Wells, we paired down to come to the town hall. And then when we came here, of course, everybody paired down, but it's working out. So, I said, anytime you want a tour, I understand there was a tour a few weeks ago, but I was not enlightened to the tour. I could have had somebody here to at least open the doors and fire up the studio for you. So
we're always happy to show it to you anytime you want to see it, or anytime anybody from Newington wants to see it, see what we have. I would be happy to give a tour.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to be here on Thursday nights, but
one of the problems of being here on Thursday nights, though, is the doors are locked outside, so nobody can get in.
So we can, if we decide that, we can work that out where we can say, reset the timer to leave the door open until 9 o'clock.
Maybe Parks and Rec door coming through.
Yeah, or it's because somebody's sitting there anyways, right? So, yeah, we are 24/7. We are, and just because we're not physically in it, we're all gypsies, right? We have day jobs, so we're here. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Our programming person is also a Newington police officer. So we don't know when he comes in, right? He just comes in after his shift or comes in before his shift, does his work and, you know. So don't surprise him, he is armed. But like I said, so it's that kind of an organization. If there's something to do during the day, you know, we have a few people who are retired that can come in and help out during the day if there's something to be recorded during the day. But, you know, once again, it doesn't take, you don't need to drag the camera with you. Your iPhone, your Android phone, they got 16 megapixel cameras on them. They're fantastic for shooting. It's just, you know, tough to hold. But, you know, if you're at an event and, you know, we're not there and something you feel it should be recorded, just, you know, set up your iPhone, get one of those little phone tripods and record it, and you can just send it over to us and we'll get it in the schedule.
Thank you.
Counselor Capella.
Yes, thank you. Is there a cost, for people to have a podcast on NCTV? No cost. So
No
somebody
cost.
can come in and have like an hour, what's like a time frame that they
Yeah,
can
I
have?
mean, we haven't delved into it yet,
Yeah,
but I mean, it would be,
It can't be a commercial thing, but as long as there's no advertisements in it, this person's free to come in and,
anytime.
yeah, well,
yeah, I mean,
as soon as someone can unlock the doors.
yeah, I mean, it'll have to be a coordination.
Yeah.
Right? Most likely it would have to be after hours, right? Because
Right.
that's when we're here. And, you know, if it's going to be a video podcast, we ask that you bring some of your friends to help us out. Right? Because for instance, to do a talk to the mayor show,
Mhm.
legitimately, it takes 10 people in the studio.
Not a Zoom type one.
Not a Zoom, because you have 3 cameras, you have control room, you have a technical
And then
director,
you got the audio booth, which they put way at the other end of the place. And
which is not, but I can remote control it now, so. So it's
Interesting.
something we're working
Okay.
on. It just, you know, and hey, if you want to do the first one, let us know.
And a second question, so how many viewers would you say you have at a given time?
I can, it's weird because we're part of Cox, I can't tell you how many people are watching.
Mhm.
You know, I can't tell you how many people are watching cable, and we've asked for that data a million times. It's just not available. When I do talk to the mayor, I do a Facebook Live also,
Mhm.
which is another thing we do with some of the meetings is talk to the mayor, for example, we do it Facebook Live too. So people can watch it on Facebook and I get questions over Facebook. And of course, Steve Parker keeps giving me additional things to do in the studio. As John knows, well, John can do that. No, John can't do that. John's busy. And I can, on Facebook, I can see how many people are watching, but I can't see who's watching.
for the Christmas special we did, and I just looked at this after last week because I was asked about it, if we could figure out how many people watched it. Because we were promoting it heavily online, and it was an 8-hour special that just kept on looping Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The amount of hours watched from our online viewership time was about 2,000 hours. So people did watch that Christmas special, which was nice because I was looking for comments online and really that wasn't that much. Lot of work went into that, but
I did enjoy the original Rudolph. I thought that was.
yeah,
pretty good.
and we have all kinds of fun things on it, but we did have quite a viewership for that, so I was kind of happy with that.
Nice.
Right, and it's different because, you know, if, you know, because people know that the meetings are on all the time, right? Like, people might not watch the meeting tonight, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, but they might watch it, you know, while they're supposed to be working or something like that. So, you know, we don't have that tracking capability. It's just not there. It's probably there if we wanted to pay for it, but we're not gonna pay for it.
Counselor Taniakis.
Thank you. Great video. Thought that was great. It's fun. I don't tune into TV too much, but I do like to Talk to the Mayor when it's on because I like to see the mayor in the hot seat when I can. But I was watching a couple months ago. There's something that was a little concerning. I saw in like the comment section that whoever was running the actual like responses that you guys were, whoever was behind the NCTV community page there was talking like pretty critically of the state at that time, which I'm all for like a private citizen to do that. Like I love free speech and I encourage that kind of talk, but I thought it was mildly inappropriate that the actual Facebook page.
That was the stuff on Pura?
No, this was.
Oh, okay, if you have that, you can send it to me. I did.
Yeah.
I did not
was
see it.
More wondering, do you guys have like policy and procedure in place for how you're supposed to like interact with people and stuff like that online?
We might.
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah, I mean, so, yeah, because there's only, a few of us, and there's only a few of us who are actually technically capable of getting on Facebook or our site and, so we probably do. We are in the process of rewriting our bylaws, which are, the last time they're updated was 2001. So the address still shows North Wells Road, just to show you how old they are. So that's one of the things, and we can probably look at a community standard or something to put in there.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Floyd.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you both for being here and sharing some time with us tonight. Just kind of an overarching question. A lot of the questions I had, other counselors have asked, but an overarching question. You talked about a lot of the challenges that an organization like yours faces, the trouble getting volunteers, the changes in technology, the changes in the media landscape, et cetera. And you've talked about some of the new initiatives that you're pursuing. I'll take one, the podcast. How long have you guys been considering moving into that space, the podcast?
About 3 months or so. I have various radio interests. I have 2 radio stations I have partial ownership in. Used to be 3, now it's down to 2. Hopefully it'll be down to 1 pretty soon, but I've got a lot of radio equipment at home, professional, RE20 microphones and things like that. And, with the swing arms and, the professional radio stuff sitting in a box at home. So part of my idea was everybody's doing podcasts now. Even Netflix is doing podcasts. You think you go to Netflix, watch movies, but now they got podcast sections. And doing a podcast, setting up your own podcast studio at home is very expensive. The equipment is expensive, and my experience in radio, I've got it down to a science on how to quickly set up a soundboard and everything and get you up and running pretty fast. And with the professional equipment, you sound great, easy to run. So my idea is to, I don't want to say donate the equipment to NCTV, because I may need it from time to time, because I do one of my radio stations, Flint Hour Radio, we do charity events where we go and broadcast from these car shows and these events and stuff like that. So I do need the microphones from time to time, but when it's not being used, why can't people from Newington use it to produce podcasts?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. Somebody use this equipment. It's here, it's paid for, it's ready to go. So that's the idea behind the podcast. And with podcasts taking off,
It's the town station.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great, and it sounds like a really worthwhile exploration. Part of the reason I ask it is because, I'm thinking you're a volunteer organization. We're all volunteers up here. We know what that's like, right? John, you know what that's like in particular. But
Especially coming up in the next couple of months.
we do.
Favorite time of year.
That being said, right, you have this space in town hall that you've obviously talked about, folks get into, your volunteers, you get into sporadically. You want to be able to use that space more. Do you guys have like a long-term or short-term or a medium-term growth plan, a plan for attracting more viewership, and outreach plan to Councilor Gonzalez's, I think, really good questions and points?
Once again, it comes down to the people to do the outreach.
Yeah, and this was part of the reason we're rebranding and trying to get people more interested in things, and we're expanding our Facebook reach and doing things there. But we put the line out there. It's up to the fish if they're gonna get on the hook or not.
Yeah.
And we're hoping we're giving them good bait, but we can't really make them take it if they don't want to take it. So that's why we're trying to show these new videos and intros and stuff like that. Your stuff can look professional like that too, and we'll help you do it. And we want to get you on the air. That's what we want to do. We can only do so much, and it's up to the fish if they want to take the hook. So,
Okay, thank you.
Go out and chloroform somebody in the parking lot, drag it.
yeah, come on.
Say use a net.
All right, there you go.
Short of that.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Gonzalez.
I just had another question. And I know you guys have been talking about it, the truck that you guys have, the NCTV truck. I know a long time ago, it used to go out and go to the parades and other things, correct?
Yep.
And it's not working at the moment, I don't think.
Well, I mean, the truck is not outfitted for broadcast. If
Yeah.
you walked into that truck, you would think you were in an '80s studio. We do use the truck, you know, from where the parade to use the roof and, you know, as an advertisement vehicle.
Yeah, to outfit that truck would be about a $1 to $2 million.
Yeah.
Thing.
So is the truck kind of obsolete at the
It's
moment?
an advertising billboard that we stand on for parades right now.
Right, I mean, we used to like take it to the football game.
Mhm.
We can't do the football game anymore, so,
And at that time, we were standard definition too, so the equipment in there that is working is standard definition, so it's not viable for.
right, we have a portable studio that we put in the truck when we go out and do these remote shoots. You know, it is on our mind to say, you know, do I need this truck? You know, do I need for once a year when we need that roof, it's perfect. But is there something else I can use that we could put in a trailer or something? You know, just, it's up for discussion. But
That's one of our open items.
one of our open items for next meeting, matter of fact. So, yes, I mean, it's, you know, we actually got that truck from Nutmeg TV.
Yeah, and that was all my old equipment from my old studio.
And it's a 1983. It's in fabulous shape. If anybody's looking for a box bed. So said it's on our agenda to look at is, you know, is it worth keeping the truck? You know, it takes up a space. It's been hit a couple times in the parking lot, so we got some repair to do. But you know, for now, I think I paid $10,000 for it 12 years ago. So it's not anything that's, you know, a major expense. We put gas in it, maintenance, that kind of thing. So it's up for discussion.
Gotcha, thank you.
Can I just ask, how often do y'all meet? How often do you folks meet?
Once a month, the last Thursday of the month.
Fourth Thursday. of the month.
Fourth, yeah, well,
It's not always the last Thursday of the month.
okay, fourth, okay,
Yeah.
fourth down.
And it's that group of
5 yards to
7
go.
volunteers.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. And then Kathy is one of our liaisons. She comes, Gail comes. You know, we are in the studio other times. It's not just there once a month, you know. Like I'll come in on a Thursday night and shut the door so I can do some work, that kind of thing. And I have state paperwork that I have to do and things like that. So, you know, I said, it's the town station. We would like town folk to use it. You know, if we can get hooked up with the 250th, we've made some inroads with the volunteer fire department. Then the way that, you know, years they've been doing the ice rescue. We said, hey man, can we film that? Yeah, sure. We'd like to. And then,
It's coming up on Saturday.
Another one.
yeah, hopefully, should have some ice. Yeah,
To the snow.
so, I'll make sure Robert's supposed to cover that. I think he is.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's Newington Station. If you got a show you want to put on, so we get Democracy Now! From, I think it comes out of Washington State, actually.
Yeah,
You know, and we have somebody in town who said, yes, I'll take responsibility for the show. And periodically I'll watch the whole thing to make sure we're not off on some tangent. I did have a show, it was a show out of Chicago, it was called Four Brothers in a Movie. Okay, right. I am glad I watched the whole thing, because halfway through it, it was not pleasant. So, I mean, we do control what goes on the air.
I appreciate you guys being here. I do
Right.
have a couple of questions. They'll be quick. So you brought it up, John, and I just wanted to sort of see if you could elaborate on the what I saw online about the Pura stuff. And be honest, I didn't realize Pura regulated community access TV until I saw that. So can you explain sort of what's going on with Pura? What is that?
The Pure thing that I commented on, it turns out I jumped the gun.
Okay.
It's mainly
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg TV wants to control more and get more money. And Pure is saying no, and they're gonna fight them. What we're also seeing is, because there's a public access charge on cable, that's where the money comes from. But everybody else who's an internet provider, they don't contribute any money to the public access fund. So that's where we're getting into all the Pura stuff.
Mhm.
right? And if they're, they're gonna do this with Nutmeg TV, I'm sure they're gonna come back and like, get, okay, Cox, you got 7 stations, what are you gonna do? Or whatever we're gonna be, Charter or whoever. It was, and then Pura, and like I said, I didn't realize how far Pura had their fingers into everything.
Yes.
And DPUC, it was funny because they had all the cable guys and the, internet guys. And they said, how do you guys track users? Man, the top hats came out and the canes and they were dancing because nobody had a number to provide Pura. So that was one of the things that Pura was trying to get. So it's,
Because cable companies don't want to fund public access anymore.
They're profit companies,
yeah. And they used to have a, what's called a PEG-PISA program, and it stands for something. Public educational government, yada, 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 yada. And every year they would have a fund that we could go and apply for a grant for. Well, that was every year. And now it's every other year. Right? And if you haven't, if you got a grant and you didn't file your paperwork properly, you don't find out until you go to apply for the grant next time. So it like I said, it's just something that, we have to deal with.
Sure. Last question, well, actually I have 2 more. First, how does, the challenges you guys face, are they similar to what other towns are facing, or how do we stack up against the rest? Everyone's kind of going through the same sort of situations.
Yeah, basically, there is a Cox Cable Access Committee.
Okay.
And all the towns, we get together every other month. And the same thing, funding, how do you get more volunteers in? Rocky Hill seems to be doing a little better than everybody else. They've got some standard shows that have just been going on for years. But everybody else, volunteer wise is pretty much in the same boat. It's not cool anymore. So we're trying to become cool again.
We need a Wayne's World 3. That's what we.
Of course, it's hard to become cool and attract the young people when there's no young people involved.
Yeah, well, they got their own video cameras.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world. Last question, do you guys have a VCR back there that I could take home and show my kids what a VCR is?
Yeah, we do.
It's all about.
I've got a 1/2-inch beta deck back there if you'd like to show them that.
I think I got Star Wars on data.
Yeah, I know. Matt's going like, what the hell's a 1/2-inch beta deck?
I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
No laser disc player though.
No laser disc.
No
yeah.
laser disc, oh, yeah.
Well, I
There's some
appreciate you guys
All right.
being
Thank
here
you.
tonight, and thanks for
All
taking
right.
our questions.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to tour, just let us know, on a Thursday night, you just say, hey, can we sneak into the studio at 6:30? Let us know.
Let's try and get in the studio for talking to the mayor one of these nights, let's
Yeah.
make that a goal.
Yeah, all right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. All right, so that concludes presentations in the agenda. Moving on to item 5, executive session. Council Court, can you please read the resolution?
Certainly. Resolved that the town council, in accordance with Connecticut General Statute, section 1-206A, hereby moves to go into executive session and invites Mayor John Trister, Town Manager Jonathan Altschul, Assistant Town Manager Lauren Rhines, and the members of Town Council to discuss a pending settlement agreement with a former town employee.
Second.
Motion by Council Floyd, second by Deputy Mayor Rada. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries unanimously. We are in executive session. You want to take a brief, like 2-minute or 3-minute recess before we get going? Alrighty, we are back from executive session. Concluded that part of it, and we'll move on to item 6, public participation. If you are in the room and would like to speak in public participation, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. If you are on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. We will alternate between in the room and over Zoom.
Good evening. Teresa Avey, 71 Commonwealth Avenue. I am here tonight to ask that the town of Newington raises the Donate Life flag for the month of April for National Organ and Donor Tissue Awareness Month. My whole family are organ and tissue donors, and every April we partake in the New England Donor Services Blue and Green Walk to promote organ and tissue awareness. When my dad died, we donated his eyes, cornea, and eye tissues to 2 complete strangers. I have 2 childhood friends, one who can now see because someone donated corneas, an eye and eye tissue, and the other one who is living because someone donated a liver so he could live. 22 people die each day waiting for an organ. 95% of Americans are in favor of being a donor, but only 54% are registered. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. One tissue donor can save and heal up to 75 lives. The act of donating an organ embodies the kindness and generosity capable of bringing about significant positive changes in the lives of those in need. By raising the Donor Life flag for the month of April, the town of Newington is helping getting the word out on organ and tissue donation month. I do have access to a flag, so we don't have to worry if you do approve this on where we're gonna get a flag. I have that. And I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Teresa.
All right, we got one on Zoom. We'll go over there. Go right ahead, Ms. Lyons.
Hi, Rose Lyons, 46 Elton Drive. I want to thank Scott and John for their presentation and for the shout out. It gave me time to think while you were in executive session. And I have someone else on the line that would like to speak. Are you there?
Hi, Dana Havens, 113 Stoddard Avenue.
The 2 of us decided while you were in executive session that we're going to take John and Scott up on their offer for a podcast, and I know that you'll just love this idea. Dana and I are going to be the first to put a podcast on NCTV as long as we get the go-ahead from John and Scott. We're ready and willing to do it.
Yeah,
So
we figure we do it all the time ourselves, watching the meetings together over the phone, so why not let everybody else join in the joy and joke?
And instead of texting back and forth, we'll maybe do a live feed too. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but it's going to be fun during the budget season. Just thought we'd say hello and see how it worked with conference calling someone in. And we're not going to go for 8 minutes. We'll stick with our 4. So thank you and good night.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to the
Looking forward,
podcast.
yes.
We'll be your first viewers.
All right. Anybody else in the room or over Zoom that would like to speak? Oh, coming up.
Thank you. Andreas, 76 Vincent Drive.
On February 5th, 2026, the Newington High School allowed its students to conduct an ICE walkout protest during school hours. It is my understanding that members of the Newington Board of Education and members of the town council collaborated with students to organize the protest. It is my understanding that there was parents of children who attend Newington High School who were unaware of the sanctioned protest. It is my understanding that some of the students who were allowed to protest are minors. It is my understanding that political activism does not exist within the curriculum of Newington Public Schools. It is my understanding that taxpayer dollars and resources, Newington Public School buses, drivers, officers from Newington PD, teachers, admin, NPS staff, and the building were used during the protests. It appeared that this protest had presented a clear breach of school security and safety. In conversation with some town council members, they expressed their opinions and concerns, but also seemed to be unaware of the fact that there was a planned protest. I'm also concerned that non-school personnel, the mayor and some members of the town council were on the school grounds recording students during the protest outside of Newington High School, which was then later posted on social media. I discovered that a few members of the town council were at the protest after an email discussion with one of you. That council member also stated they, possibly referring to the students, simply invited us to support the walkout if we wanted to. I attempted to gain more information about the invitation from the students. However, no further information was provided. Another reason why I'm here is that I'm concerned about the integrity of this town council. It appears to me that certain members of this town council are looking to undermine and withhold pertinent information from the other members of this council. That is not fair government. I know you cannot respond in real time, but I'm asking each of you if you were invited to and or made aware of this protest in advance to clarify or confirm your involvement, if any. If you were invited, I would like to know your involvement, and if you were on site, if you obtained security clearance and followed the security protocol for the school visitors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andre.
Anybody else in the room or over Zoom that would like to speak in public participation? Seeing none. We didn't have any email correspondence. No, we saw anything. All right, very good. All right, we will move on to remarks by counselors on public participation. Any comments from council? Counselor Tiniakis.
Yes, to Ms. Teresa, love that idea. I'm an organ donor too. I personally don't see a problem with raising that flag. I think that's great. To Mr. Andreas, we had emailed a little bit, but I'll reiterate what we talked in our email. I was there, I took that video. When we got to the high school, we signed in, we gave our IDs to the front desk staff. I got like a fun little badge that was a visitor. All the students that were involved got wristbands for them to walk out into the parking lot. What else here? I didn't speak to any student. I don't know of anyone who actually spoke to any of the students, but you are more than free to FOIA my emails, my texts, all that kind of stuff if you want to. And you can see that. You don't have to take my word for it. Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Floyd.
Thank you, Mayor. Lisa, I just want to thank you for coming and sharing really moving words about your own personal experience with organ donors. And I am also an organ donor, and I have a lot of family members who have benefited from organ donation. And I am fully in support of seeing how we can make that possible within the policies that we have. So we're going to follow up internally and see what we can do to make that happen. And thank you again, really.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor DeHaas.
Thank you all for speaking. Rose and Dana, you're quite the duo. I will watch that podcast. Teresa, thank you for bringing awareness to that. I didn't realize that April was Organ Donation Awareness Month, and I'd be okay with the flag. And Andre, I was not aware in advance of the protest. I heard rumblings coming through social media where they were trying to gain traction for it, but I never received any formal communication or invitation. I am thankful to know that there was check-ins and formal security. That does make me feel a little bit better about outside folks being on site that day, knowing that at least you were subject to all of that and the check-ins and everything else that would normally be in place.
Councilor Capella.
Yes, Teresa, it definitely, I, got a feeling that this is very important to you and thank you for coming. I definitely also support, flying the flag. So thank you for coming and I agree that it's something that we should definitely do. And Andres, I think we went back and forth with email when you, emailed the town council. And so I also did not, was not invited, did not know about it. That's it. Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Rada.
Yes, Teresa, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I as well, I'm an organ donor, have been for a long, long time. This is an important issue. Anything we can do to increase public awareness, so thank you very much. I support this.
Deputy Mayor. I'll just add to the discussion on the, about the walkout. I never got a formal invitation either. I happen to have a student who goes there and was, you know, I heard about it through my daughter who's a student at the high school that this was circulating on Snapchat. So that's how I heard about it. That's all I got. Councilor Gonzalez.
I just wanted to comment, Teresa, I'm a donor, and thank you for coming up. And also, I did not get any formal invitation. I heard about it from my son, I think, first.
Very good. Thank you, Counselor. All righty. Any other remarks from council? Seeing none, we will move on to consideration of old business. Item A, CIP transfers. Counselor Plord, would you please read this long resolution?
Certainly. That's all right. Okay. Certification. In accordance with section 808 of the town charter, I hereby certify that there exists free from encumbrances in the following appropriation in the CIP fund, the amount listed below. Account number 30197-88117-0120, Town Hall Audiovisual, $2,326. Account number 30197-88934, Town Hall Community Center Tech, $2,075. Account number 31110-8412-0120, Technology Equipment, $2,394. Account number 30235-88044, Fire Department Apparatus, $58. Account number 30235-88435, Fire Environment Security Power Management, $205. Account number 30235-88535, Fire Museum Heating and Security, $33. 30235-88727, Fire Department Hose Replacement, $92. 30235-88734, Fire Company 5 Emergency Generator, $247. 30831-88017-0120, Community Center Bump Out, $15. 31110-88008, American Legion Building, $62. 31110-88806, Town Roof Replacement, $44. 30195-88041-0120, Town Hall Generator, $10. 30195-88042-0120, Town Hall Gym Equipment, $5. 30310-88232, New Britain Avenue Business District, $315,000, signed Janet Murphy, Director of Finance. Resolved that the Newington Town Council hereby transfers the above certified funds to the following CIP fund accounts. Account number 36197-7001, transfer from CNRE, amount $6,795. 30235-88726, Fire Department PPE, $635. 30195-88511, General Property Improvements, $136. 30235-88650, Firehouse Exhaust System, $275,000. 30242-88528, Fire Training Tower Improvements, $40,000.
Motion by Counselor Floyd,
Second.
second by Counselor Das. All right, perfect. I didn't know which way, I heard it from down there. Any discussion on this? Counselor Draco.
Yeah, I just have a question. The New Britain Avenue Business District, that was because of a grant?
Correct, yeah, we have, we had, I think, $630,000 in there, and we also received grant funds, so basically half of what we had set aside in CIP wasn't needed.
So we're not gonna need those funds? I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's been done yet.
Well, we're getting stuff out ready for, to go out to bid for that work to be done, but the parameters of the job wouldn't require $900,000 or, the grant funds plus that 630,000. So Janet, after discussion with Chris Sabidio, realized we had extra money floating in that account.
Okay. And then also, just the town hall audio visual, I guess, I don't know, it seems that we do have sometimes issues with our AV here. So we can't find a use for the $2,000.
We can, I think Janet's on the line. Janet, you want to talk about any background you did on that?
Sure. So right now, all of the audio, visual, the tech, and anything that they now purchase, because this is a very old account from when we actually were building the new town hall, that's all been moved over to the tech fund. That's why we're putting everything over there. I know Scott is looking at doing upgrades and stuff, but all the additional expenses will be handled in that fund under that
Okay,
account.
so that, that amount will be used
Correct.
to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on this? All right, we had a motion by Counselor Floyd, seconded by Counselor DeHaas. All those in favor? Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries unanimously. We'll conclude old business, move on to tax refunds. Counselor Draco.
I was hoping,
It's
resolve.
yours now, sure, that's all you.
Resolved that property tax refunds in the amount of $2,706.60 are hereby approved in the individual amounts for those named on the request for refund of an overpayment of taxes certified by the revenue collector, a list of which is attached to this resolution.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Draco, seconded by Counselor Gonzalez. Any discussion on these?
No fair, you pay for the short one.
I gave you the option. Okay. Not seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is minutes from previous meetings. We have the January 13th public hearing, the January 13th special meeting, and the January 27th regular meeting. Counselor DeHaas, Counselor Deputy Mayor Rada, anything in there?
I think we're good.
All right.
I have
Deputy
two.
Mayor, all right.
I have two. Thank you. This
Her turn.
time it's my turn. On the regular meeting minutes for Tuesday, January 27th, page 1, on number 3, approval of agenda. Motion passed. It should be 8-0 with Counselor Gonzalez absent. It's 8-9. Should be 8-0.
Okay.
And then on page 9.
Still the 27th meeting?
So still the 27th meeting, yes, on page 9. 1, 2, 3. The fourth bullet from the top, Counselor Tiniakis stated that we received data, ... It's residents versus passer buyers. It should be BYERS instead of BUYERS. And that's all I've got.
Very good. I would entertain a motion to approve the January 13th public hearing minutes, the January 13th special meeting minutes, and the January 27th regular meeting minutes with Deputy Mayor Rada's amendments.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Rada, second by Counselor Gonzalez. Any discussion on approving the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries unanimously. Moving right along, next on the agenda, resignations and appointments, we got nothing. And we're moving on to consideration of new business. I know A is 2026 early voting, but I think we're gonna move that to, no, I'm just kidding. Come on out.
You see their face.
We're excited to have you. Feels like we just had an election and here we are talking about early
yeah.
voting on it.
So thank you for having us. We're here to look for approval for our early voting plan, should be attached. I don't know if you all got the correction in it. Okay.
So we're looking to use council chambers again, like we have in years past. We would be doing early voting October 10th through November 1st. October 19th, sorry, once I am able to read my own writing, through November 1st. And then in the case of a primary, which it could be 1 or 2, it could be Republicans or Democrats, and that primary early voting would be August 3rd through August 9th. And we would need the Friday before to set up.
So we would have to just move the council meeting for the second. Yeah, that's fine.
That's right.
No effect, it wouldn't affect the primary, so that's good. But yeah, no.
And there are other meetings that have to get shifted to.
We'll make it work. Questions from council? Council Floyd.
Just a quick question. Am I remembering correctly? Last year, did you folks put a notice of early voting on the fire department sign? at
We did.
Company One? Are you planning to do that again this year? I
For
assume?
sure, right?
Hey,
Did
she's
you,
still,
did you notice Uncle Sam last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He'll be out
Saw
again.
him all over.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
He'll be out. He might pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Should that be fun? Let him different play. Where's Uncle Sam
liked
today?
Rick Ashley will be out too.
That's great. The class.
That was a good sign.
Thank you guys so much for the work that you do, really.
Councilor Draco.
Just a clarification, so the process went relatively smoothly last year for you, so there's really no changes and except for the dates.
Correct.
Okay, great, thank you very much.
The primary times is still the same timeline. They haven't shrunk that yet, or did they? Still the same number of days for early
No,
voting?
for primaries, only 7 days.
Still too many days. I think, but-
Yes,
Yeah.
we're working on it.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that looks great. Happy for everything you guys are doing and thank you for everything you guys do.
And thank you for everything you guys do.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, in new business, recommendation from Permanent Municipal Building Committee. Looks like this is just relating to what was discussed at the last meeting. So we'll see where it goes, right?
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's sort of, two things sort of come of it. If this is obviously, we don't have any money available right now for this. But obviously with the budget season coming up. And then, so if it is, council's will to, want me to start negotiating with the owner, I'm happy to do that. In addition, it probably is a good idea to tee this up. That it does need 824 review through TPZ. So if council is supportive of it, I could have a resolution, sort of two-pronged resolution for the next meeting that would refer this to TPZ for 824 and then basically authorize town manager to enter into negotiations. Obviously with the caveat that there's no money available for the purpose right now.
Councilor Floyd?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jonathan, for your exhaustive memo. I know the commission has done a lot of work and staff has been supporting that work in a really productive way. I know they've reviewed a lot of options as evidenced by your memo. This was one among several. Obviously we had the meeting with the PMBC. I think I feel comfortable learning more information about this option and its viability. given that a lot of those other options may have some kind of crippling disadvantages. I still have questions about this option, when I'm not fully on board with all the details of what this could mean, but I think it's important that we get more information.
Sure.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what we come up with next week. Any other comment from council? Seeing, Counselor Draco?
I just want to, just because of some, concerns and comments I've been getting from the public, first of all, as Councilor Ford said, thank you for indicating all the options that the public has thrown out to all of us. Well, did you talk to other towns about shared facilities? Did you, what about building our own facility? What about, the land, whatever? And all of these obviously were explored, and in the opinion of the committee, the sponsors and yourself, this option at this point seems to be the most cost effective to explore. Yeah, again, this is not committing us to anything. There's no dollar figure amount attached to this at this point, but it's a step that, an urgent step that we should take before this is no longer an option, because the property could be sold. So we want to at least put our foot in there and see what the opportunity is. So thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. All right, and looking forward to the next meeting. All right, we will move on to item C, settlement for William Jameson, rules waiver requested. Deputy Mayor Rada, would you please read the first half of the resolution, and then we'll do the second half.
Yes, I will. Resolved that the Newington Town Council, in accordance with statute 14, voting of the town council, rules of procedure adopted April 9th, 2024, hereby moves to allow action on agenda item 12C to consider and take action on a settlement agreement with William Jameson.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Rada, seconded by Counselor Gonzalez. Any discussion on this? Public participation now or before, after we vote?
No, now.
Now on
All
this
right.
motion.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we had a motion, and a second, because we're looking to raise the rule, because we're making a motion to change our rules. We will open it up to public participation related to the waiver request. If you'd like to speak in public participation in the room, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, or use the raise hand function over Zoom. We'll go from the room to Zoom. Seeing none. Close public participation. We had a motion by Deputy Mayor Rada, seconded by Councilor Gonzalez. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries unanimously. Deputy Mayor, can you please read the second part?
Resolved that the Newington Town Council hereby moves to accept the proposed settlement agreement with William Jameson and authorizes the town manager on behalf of the town of Newington to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the settlement.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Rada, seconded by Councilor DeHaas. Any discussion on this? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries unanimously. And that'll conclude new business for the night. Next up is written oral communication town manager report.
Yeah, I have a number of things to highlight to council tonight. First, obviously, big shout out to everybody involved in the snow removal operations. Obviously, this was a challenging storm because of the winds and the wet snow. I know that Rob is going to be sending out crews tomorrow morning to sort of get some of those snowpack sections that were hard to get the first time around. So you may see a lot of activity in the morning.
There'll be more snow.
Yeah, there's supposed to be another 1 to 3 inches tomorrow or something. And then in addition, there's another one of those kind of European models says that next Tuesday there could be 15 to 20, but just rest assured it's not going to happen.
It's not happening.
It's not happening, so don't worry about it.
I forbid it.
Yes, it's forbid.
You're the one that changed the park.
Well, I can control the weather. I'm telling them it's.
So I'd also point out that just with Miss Lyons on the call, at the last meeting, she asked about the town's ordinances regarding digging out fire hydrants. And, you know, we do have that one provision about private fire hydrants on private land or on private roads. But as far as fire hydrants within the right of way, actually our code of ordinance is silent on that issue. So there is no, unlike not shoveling your driveway, you wouldn't be either ticketed or be charged for any work the town would do on your property or adjacent to your property if you didn't shovel around a hydrant. However, our fire department is very proactive. And so if there are any concerns about hydrants that are buried under snow, I suggest you call over to the fire department and they'll send cadets out there or younger crew out there to shovel around fire hydrants. As you know, I emailed you guys all over the weekend about new news out of the Department of Housing that we finally cracked the 10% affordable housing threshold. So 10.3 of our housing stock qualifies as quote unquote affordable. And what that means, practically speaking, is now we're exempt from the 830G provision in the Connecticut General Statutes that allows developers to basically go around, get around local zoning ordinances if they're building affordable units. So a good milestone. We're only 31 communities in all of Connecticut to be over 10%. So it's kind of a feather in our cap. Some personnel news. These guys I'm going to mention are really the backbone of the town. They are, it's sort of people like me and Lauren or Chief Perry or other department heads maybe sort of superficially get the credit, but the people who really do the work are some of the frontline folks that are like our foremen. And in the last week or two, we've had the pleasure of appointing or promoting two long-serving members of both of our grounds crew and our highway crew to the foreman positions of both departments. First of all, Ben Breitkreutz, who's been with the town for I think 22 years in the grounds department, was promoted last week to grounds foreman. And Dave Karen, who's been with the town for I think 19 years, maybe even longer, 25 years, we promoted to highway foreman. So, congratulations to them. Also in the personnel front, Matt D'Esposito, Sergeant D'Esposito, was appointed last week to be the new town emergency management coordinator. So that's excellent. Exciting. And he was thrown right into the frying pan this weekend with the storm, but he did a great job of keeping people apprised of changes in the forecast. And also earlier today, we made an offer to a new tax collector. And I don't think she's accepted yet, but I'll make that official at the next council meeting. We are furiously working on getting the budget ready for you guys. Hopefully we'll have budget books out to you by the end of business on Friday. We have the RFP for the red light cameras is now on the street. Lauren just put it out yesterday. So hopefully we'll start to get some responses. I think when was it closed? Like March 31st. Okay. So we had another month or so to get responses. In response to a lot of the discussion about storage and space needs, Joe Salamone is going to start working on a needs assessment for the town for every department. So that's going to be some good information for you guys to think about facilities, the limits of our current facilities capacity. And finally, two tours, one to remind you of and two to get on your radar and ask for some feedback. As a reminder, on Monday at 3 o'clock, we'll be meeting first at the highway garage and then at the grounds garage and finally at NEMS to look at some of our lesser visited town facilities. And then I'd also like to arrange with Lauren and Joe a opportunity for you guys to tour the EOC, and was looking at a Monday afternoon of either this March 16th, March 23rd, or March 30th. And I will follow up tomorrow morning with an email, like a doodle poll for you guys, if you can indicate what days work best there. But the EOC is coming into focus, as I think Lauren briefed John 2 weeks ago, and hopefully you'll be impressed with what you see. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Any questions? Councilor Badraco?
Yes, regarding the fact that we've broken the 10% threshold. Now, will any 830G that's currently in process but hasn't been approved or just approved yet, are they exempt from
Yeah,
this?
they'd be grandfathered into the old, yeah, so technically it takes effect, I think, on March first, so because they got their application in, whenever it was in October or
Okay.
whatever last year. They met,
Okay,
they got in out of the way.
great, thank you.
Councilor Floyd?
I just want to thank you, Jonathan, as always, for being responsive. You kept all of us abreast of updates when the snowstorm happened, and I felt very well informed, and just thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Matt.
On that front, we were just talking about the hydrants. I know, Councilor Porter mentioned it to me today, and I heard from Fire Commissioner Whalen sent me a flyer on something they're doing in West Hartford, like a contest to clear your hydrants.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a $50 gift card to, whoever enters and whoever's the first to get their hydrant clean. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe something to look at
Okay,
to
that's good.
incentivize
Pretty
people.
cool. Okay,
Something, the commissioner said he'd donate a $50 junket card.
good, good, good.
But I'll send you the flyer.
Please do.
Something we could do to get people to do the right thing.
I wish they did the right thing. If there's a fire, everybody thinks it's
That's
terrible
all I
to clear
think
it,
about when I
but
look at the hydrant across my street is. I
I'm
want
more
that
than happy to
cleared 'cause
clear
there's a
'em.
Fire on my house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very good. All right, moving on to committee reports from council. Any updates from councilors? Councilor Plord.
Thank you, Mayor. Just some brief updates. Councilor DeHaas and I continue attending board meetings, and they are wrapping up their budget process this week. They have been fast and furious trying to get things prepared for us when we'll receive the budget at the end of this week or early next week. So I think we all just share in our gratitude for the work that they did, regardless of the product that they're giving to us. It takes a lot of work to even bring a product to us. So I think we're grateful for the work that they've done. Councilor Draco and I also attended the last TPZ meeting where, among other things, there was continued discussion about HB 8002, the omnibus housing bill. And I know that Paul Dixon is going to be joining us at some point to share some information about that bill, but the zoning commission is abreast of those changes and knows what staff is doing to respond. And there seems to be a really robust plan in the department to respond to that bill. Also worth noting that the public hearing for the Lewis Street development remains open. And so folks that may be interested in weighing in on that development should look out for the next TPC meeting. And I'll also mention that just before this meeting, I was really glad to stop into the chamber business after hours at TJ's, and they have these periodically. But just to share a note with council that there were a lot of new business owners there. And it was really amazing to see how vibrant, active our local business community is. People doing really incredible work, businesses, frankly, I hadn't even heard of, doing really awesome work in town, new businesses, old businesses. So just always a reminder to shop local and look for local options when you can, because even if you don't see them while you're driving, they're there. You should look out for them. That's it.
Thank you, Councilor. Deputy Mayor Rada.
Yes, I attended the Board of Fire Commissioners meeting on February 12th, and just a couple of important announcements. First of all, the cold water ice rescue will be at Mill Pond on Saturday. And I think there are two sessions. I want to clarify this with one of the commissioners tomorrow, but I think there's one at 8:30 and then one at 10, or one at 8 and one at 10:30. So
8 and 10:30.
yeah, so we have two options. There will be a live burn again at the tower in April, and all town council members will get, and I'm sure the town manager as well, will get an invitation to attend that burn. Several of us have done so in the past. It's really pretty intense, but eye-opening.
Is that when you can take up in the bucket?
They
That's
do
right.
that too.
Okay, I want to do
And-
that. I
And,
do that
and
last time.
we also are in the apparatus, not as drivers, but we're working the radio as you're coming in as if it was a real burn, and so it's, yeah. They announced the retirement of Deputy Chief Gian Santi and wished him well.
Interesting.
Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, two things that I was really excited and impressed to hear. First of all, West Hartford will be hosting an intro to firefighting camp in August here in Newington, utilizing the training tower at some point throughout that camp. And even more exciting for me is that the chief of the Hamden Fire Department, who is a female, and has done this in the past, has contacted Newington again, and we will be hosting the female firefighter camp in July. It's statewide. The focus is on introducing young women to the fire service and providing a camp. It will be between the company one and also sometime at the training tower as well.
Councilor Tiniakis.
Last night, we had our monthly pool meeting, where we went over the RFP language, that we're trying to prepare, to address both of our pools. Not a whole lot of action we can take right now, just before the budget, season goes, but the RFP should be ready to go for when we do have money to do that. So exciting stuff to come.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other updates from council? Seeing none. We will move on back to public participation in general. If you're in the room and like to speak in public participation, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. If you're on Zoom, use the raise hand function. We'll alternate between the room and Zoom. And no one's in the room, and we got one on Zoom. Go right ahead, Ms. Lyons, you're up. Podcaster extraordinaire.
Hi, Rose Lyons, 46 Elton Drive. I appreciate the town manager mentioning the fire hydrants, because once again, I'm sure that most of the town hydrants have not been cleared out. I don't know how my street is. I haven't checked it out yet, but I don't know that we necessarily have to have a ordinance specific to the residential areas where they're on right-of-ways. I would hope that common sense would prevail. And if there is someone that can't clear it out, like the town manager said, get in touch with the fire department and maybe they can send out the cadets. I know they've done that before, but I've voiced my opinion. I don't think it's just the responsibility of the adjacent property owners to be clearing them out. On my street, there was a gentleman for years, did it up until he was 80 years old. There's plenty of younger people out and about that they can see that there's no clearings around there. I was glad to hear about the 10.3% of the affordable housing that we had reached, but from what I have researched and talked to Michael Santoro at the Housing Department of Housing, that 10%, I believe, or the 10.3% is based on the number of units that we had in Newington according to the 2020 census. So the census is done every 10 years. The housing stock goes, or the amount of affordable housing units may go up, but the housing stock isn't reported until 2030. So we can't become complacent and think that we don't need any more affordable housing. In order to keep up to the 10%, I believe that we have to keep an eye on the housing going in and make some provisions for some affordable housing. I could be wrong on that, but that might be something you might want to discuss with Paul when he comes to talk to you about the pending legislation. And speaking of the pending legislation, I have been watching CTN and I've been watching the TPZ meetings, and I seem to remember there might have been another position added to the town planner's office, but I don't see any new names in the office. I usually call and talk to Paul or Eric. I'm hoping that my recollection is correct, and I hope that we're working on something, because just their jobs alone seem to take an awful lot of time, and having to respond to this legislation and what our plan is going to be an enormous job for that department. So I'm advocating for them. We need to keep on top of things. We need to know what direction we want to go in, but our staff can't be overworked and take away from other things that need to be done in this town, my opinion. Anyway, thank you. Good night, and be careful out there. The roads are nice and they're easy, but you never know when you're going to hit a slick spot. Take care. Drive carefully.
Thank you, Rose.
Thanks.
Anybody else in the room or Zoom that would like to speak in public participation? Seeing none. We will move on to remarks by counselors. Any comments from council? Seeing none.
Can I just respond to one of Rose's?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So Rose asked about the planner tech position. That was a part year, approved for a part year hire. Charlie Nevers, I believe is how you pronounce his name, starts either Monday or the following Monday. A really interesting guy, a young, a lot of energy, kind of like imagine Paul, but like 15 years younger. That's so he's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be a good addition to the team.
Very good,
Nice.
very good. We'll get a lot of work going for him.
Yeah.
Informational item, look, Counselor DeHaas.
I just wanted, Rose had asked about the 830G housing and where that percent comes from. I want to say there was something in that report you shared that said it included any units that came online or were filled in 2024, 2025. Is that?
Yeah, that's
accurate?
correct. As
So
of,
it's not the 2020 census, it's accurate up through the 2024, 2025 completion.
yeah, but I think Rose raises a good point, which is that, we're just over the threshold. So, if we don't add enough affordable units, it's something to
moving
watch.
target.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a moving
Yeah,
target
we could
as
fall right
developments come
below.
in.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Any other comments from council? All right, seeing none, move on to informational items. I just wanted to take, Counselor Diniakis.
I was gonna say the pre-registration for the library 5K I had just launched earlier this week, so
Sunny days ahead.
if you're a runner, please do it. I'm supposed to be in Greece during that time, but I'm gonna try and convince my wife to let us come home a little early, so I can make it, so we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, right.
See how that goes. Good luck to you on that.
You don't have to be a runner, though. You can walk.
Yeah, anybody.
You can
yeah.
walk. You can.
Yes, you can. We'll take the rest of the time in the hotel in Greece.
There you
We
go.
can just switch.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
my,
yeah,
it's gonna be
yeah,
my
yeah.
grandma's
There
house.
you go, there you go. I just wanted to take a second and also shout out Rob Hillman and his team for the amazing job that they've done. This has been a real winter, real New England winter, and they've been up to the task at every point. I hear from other people around the state. My dad lives in Hamden. He's, by 4 o'clock yesterday, he hadn't had it plowed on his road yet. And he's on a main road. And I said, well, I've had 3. So we're doing a great job. So they're fantastic. So, shout out to them, and hopefully you'll get a break from this soon.
Thank you.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Ford, second by Councilor Gonzalez. Any discussion on adjournment? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned at 9:05 PM. Great meeting, everybody.
Thank you.
We're all wrong.